Marine's final inspection. The Marine stood and faced God, which must always come to pass. He hoped his shoes were shining just as brightly as his brass. Step forward, Marine, how shall I deal with you? Have you always turned the other cheek? To my church, have you been true? The Marine squared his shoulders and said, no, Lord, I guess I ain't, because those of us who carry guns can't always be a saint. I've had to work most Sundays, and at times my talk was tough, and sometimes I've been violent because the world is awfully rough. But I never took a penny that wasn't mine to keep, though I worked a lot of overtime when the bills got just too steep. And I never passed a cry for help, though at times I shook with fear. And sometimes, God forgive me, I've wept unmanly tears. I know I don't deserve a place among the people here. They never wanted me around except to calm their fears. If you have a place for me here, Lord, it needn't be so grand. I never expected or had too much, but if you don't, I'll understand. There was a silence all around the throne where the saints had often trod, as the Marine waited quietly for the judgment of his God. Step forward, Marine, you've borne your burdens well. Walk peacefully on heaven's streets, you've done your time in hell. All right, and then I'm gonna go ahead and read Grandpa Dave's biography. David Cushing Olmsted Sr. of Cougar, Washington, passed away peacefully November 5th, 2019. He was surrounded by his family and extended family. Mr. Olmsted was born March 1st, 1946 in Akron, Ohio, to Bill and Betty Olmsted. He spent most of his childhood living between Arizona and Los Angeles, California. He was a 1964 graduate of Hamilton High School in Los Angeles, California. After high school, he joined the United States Marine Corps and was shipped to Vietnam. While in Vietnam, he earned a Purple Heart for wounds suffered there. He was the father of 4 boys from a previous marriage, Rob, Tom, David Jr., and Jason. On May 16, 1991, he married Lois Slater and became a father to Craig, Sherry, Starla, and Jeannie. He and Lois were married for over 28 years until his passing. He safely drove log trucks and long-haul trucks for over 40 years, driving all over the United States and Alaska as both a company driver and an owner-operator for well over 4 million miles. Lois would often ride in the truck across the country with him, where they visited many states along with their faithful dog, Snoopy. He held a commercial driver's license until the day he passed, always saying, "You never know when you might need it." After retirement, he was commander of VFW Post 1927 for over 5 years, where he excelled and was appointed to the All-American Team, National Aide-de-Camp, and was awarded Veteran of the Year in 2008. He was proud of his military background and was extremely proud that his 4 boys, daughter-in-law, and 3 grandsons are all veterans, 2 grandsons being commissioned officers. He also was a woodworker and built many benches, planters, and picnic tables along with his good friend, Al. He never forgot a joke, and he loved to share his jokes with anybody willing to listen, or if you didn't want to listen, he would tell you anyways, often laughing just as loud as the first time you heard it. Dave was also an animal lover. He recently lost his Chihuahua Bandit, and has asked that Bandit be buried with him so they could be together forever. He is survived by his wife, Lois of Cougar, sister Andrea of Porterville, California, his 4 sons, Rob and Mandy, Thomas and Cindy, David Jr., and Margie, and Jason. His stepchildren, Craig Slater, Sherry, and Dan Weiser, Starla, and Dawn Penfield, and Jeannie Slater, 19 grandchildren, and 16 great-grandchildren.